In this video, I'm going to show you how can we complete this input-output relationship table. How can we find the average product? How can we find the marginal product? So let's start. How can we find our average product? If you remember, average product is equals to our total product divided by the units of variable factor. So let's compute it. So for the first unit, we have a total product 200 divided by the number of variable factors, which is 1. It should be 200. For variable factors, we have this column. So the variable factors will change when the total product change. So for the second unit, 500 divided by 2, 225. 900 divided by 3, that's 300. 100 and 1200 divided by 4, so it should be 300. 1300 divided by 5. So if you press the calculator, then you can get this one should be 260. The last one, 1350 divided by 6. 1350 divided by 6, it should be 225. So that's how we compute the average product. So oppositely, if you only are given the average product, then you have to find the total product, the missing boxes. Then how can we find? So just we have to do it the opposite way, just change it mathematically, and then you will notice the total product equals to what? That's our average product times the units of our variable factor. For this one, the variable factor's unit is 2, and the average product is 250. Then it should be 2 times 250, and it should bring us 500. And then for this one, we have 3 times 300. It should bring us 900. So you have learned how can we find the total product and the average product. So let's move to the marginal product. Marginal products means when we have the change of the variable factor, what is the change of the total product? So in our current learning context, we will learn that what is the change in total product when we have the one additional unit change of the variable factor. Okay, so for the first one, the total product, we assume that when length is 1, the labor is 0, and it should bring us the total product of 0. We assume that, so we can assume, so for the first unit of labor, when we move from the labor of 0 unit to 1 unit, the total product will increase from 0 to 200. So the marginal product, 200 minus 0, it should be 200. Just note that sometimes the first box of the marginal product may not be able, we cannot be able to find it, because sometimes the unit of variable factor may not start at 1 directly, but sometimes it could be 3 or 5. Then you may not be able to compute the marginal product of this column. So just pay attention to this one. For the second unit, when the variable factor increases from 1 unit to the second unit, this one additional unit change of the variable factor will bring us the change of total products from 200 to 500. The marginal product will be 500 minus 200 equals to 300. It means that the one additional unit brought by the variable factor will lead us to the increase of the total product of 300. So that's how we define marginal product. The change of total product divided by the change of variable factor. So similarly, we have the remaining figures. It should be 400, 300, 150. So in your exam, you are really likely to be asked of this. So you have to recall. So this topic is the law of diminishing marginal return. So first, you should state the law of diminishing marginal return. So you should recite the definition already. So remember, you have to give the keywords in order to make this definition a complete one. So in the short run, so remember, we only have the law of diminishing marginal return possible in short run because the law is illustrating we have the fixed factor as a constraint to constrain the use of the variable factor. So the law is in the short run, when the more of the variable factors keep being added to the given quantity of a fixed factor, and our marginal product will ultimately decrease. And we have to say that holding other factors constant. So holding the technology constant, because this situation we can assume that this law will be true because it is not due to other factors affecting it, but it's just because we have the constraint of fixed factor. So even though in the short run we try to add more and more variable factors, we can observe that the marginal product will ultimately decrease. We can see that ultimately it is not being efficient anymore. So in this example, you can notice that when the fourth unit of labor is being added, the marginal product will start to decrease. So you should say that when the fourth unit of labor is employed, or you can say being added, the marginal product decrease from 400 units to 300 units. So this is how you say, so the law applies. So alternatively, you can say when the fourth unit of labor is employed, or you can say when the labor increases from the third unit to fourth unit, from 3 units to 4 units. So this means exactly the same. So this sentence essentially is just describing when will the law of diminishing marginal return happen, while the sentence later, the later part is illustrating the decrease in the marginal product. So you should also provide a table, so you should list the table as well. So hope this clarifies how you can tackle the problem of the law of diminishing marginal return. Just to add a little bit more details, so for example, sometimes it is likely that you're not given any of this. Okay, so you're not given the total product at all. Then how can we just use our average product or the marginal product to find out? So you have already know the way how can we make good use of the data of the average product to have our total product back. So how about can we use the marginal product to have it back? Yes, it is possible. So let's take a look here. So if we are given the marginal product only, can we find our total product? The answer is yes. So look at here. So when the first unit of labor is employed, we have 200 of the marginal product. It means that from the labor, it is from 1 unit moved to the 0 unit moved to 1 unit. This additional worker can help us to gain 200 marginal product. So the total product should be 200. When we have employed another unit of labor, our marginal product will increase by 300. So we can say that when one additional unit of labor is employed, our marginal product will increase by 300. So how is our total product? So it is 200 times 300. We use the MP here, the marginal product here, to get back our total product. So this is 500. So similarly, when the third unit of labor is employed, this additional unit of labor can have helped our marginal product to gain 400 products. So remember, just to give you additional information, it doesn't mean that the third workers, he or she can solo work and then have this 400 unit of marginal product done himself. But when the third unit of labor is added, we can have the total product calculate and gain our marginal product. So it is not necessary that this worker can just do 400 units of marginal product himself. No, but it is the team, the whole team. So we don't know. So 200 times 300 times 400, that's 900. So we are adding this one, and this one to get this number. So the last one, similarly, 200 plus 300 times 400 times 300. So that's 12,000. So I think right now you should be confident. Even you are just given the marginal product, you can find the total product yourself.